Hi, Brian Jackson, editor of ITbusiness.ca here. I'm at IBM InterConnect again for day 2, and I've seen some more demos that I wanted to try and share with you through video and just tell you about them quickly. So the first demo I saw, and by the way, both of these were to show how developers are making use of IBM Bluemix, the platform, the cloud development platform that IBM offers to developers, and there's countless APIs available there now. The first one was a Watson IoT API available on Bluemix, and the way it's being used is by IBM, who is actually working with an interesting client in the US women's indoor cycling team. So this was introduced as a sport during the 2012 Olympics, and it's the sort of sport where the split second can make the difference between winning a silver medal or not even making the podium at all. And what the US women's team is doing with IBM is they're working with them since August, and they've rigged up all this hardware to measure their cycling performance. So on the bike itself, you have this pedal-mounted device that can measure the amount of power that the cyclists are putting into their pedal and the torque that is being generated as well. And then IBM is also using some other gadgets like an interferometer, which can apparently somehow measure the amount of work your muscles are doing. And all you have to do is put that next to your skin, basically. And then they put smartphones on these cycles, and there's all these sort of sensors that are sending data to the smartphone and collecting it, shooting it up to the Bluemix platform in the cloud. So the result of all that is the cyclists do their thing. They race around. It's a team event, so they're pedaling in sort of a formation, and the lead person takes the brunt of the wind, and then they sort of switch, and the person in the front moves out of the way. The new leader takes up the charge, and the person who was in the front now gets a break behind. So they're measuring how efficiently are they doing that, because it takes a bit of orchestration, and they can measure like how much work did you save, and all of this interesting stuff. And you see this chart of watts over time, the time of the race. And so the cyclists can watch a tape of their race, and they can see how they performed in doing these tough switch out maneuvers. And then they can see on the graph how it impacted their wattage performance, meaning how much extra work did they have to do. And when you're talking about generating power as much as possible and trying to get as much power to save even more seconds, that sort of thing matters. So that was interesting. And then the second demo I saw was an example of a team in the UK that wanted to build a platform for drones that would be able to go into hazardous environments and send back information about what's going on in those environments. They got a free IBM Bluemix trial, so just like a software trial basically, and they decided that they would do a test using Bluemix and a probe that they would actually send up on a weather balloon into the atmosphere, like almost in space, 20 miles above the ground. And they loaded basically a very plain sort of probe. I mean, it's not much to look at. It looks like a cardboard box with duct tape all over it, but it's loaded with all sorts of sensors, and they were able to also mount a tiny LCD screen and a camera to this probe. So the idea was that people could be sending tweets to the probe, and it would display on the screen, and then it would take a photo of that with the tweet on it, and you'd see like the curvature of the Earth in the background. So a sort of a fun aspect of this. And all of the data, after they launched this probe, which was on this gigantic weather balloon, was being sent back to a lab that at IBM that was reacting to the data. So for example, if the probe was moving into direct sunlight, the lights in the room would be orange. And the lab's floor actually moves, so they had it moving in sync with how the probe was being jostled as it moved through the atmosphere. and everything went pretty well with their launch of this probe. It did get up to the 20 miles above ground, but then the return to Earth was a little more rocky because the chute didn't deploy. So they thought this thing was plummeting to Earth. They thought for sure it would be destroyed upon impact. Turns out they caught a break, and miraculously all the rope that was used to deploy the parachute caught onto a tree branch, and that caused the probe to sort of spin around and lose acceleration, and then it just was hanging from the tree branch. So when they went to retrieve it, they just had to reach up and pluck it out, and it was in perfect condition. So they were grateful for that, and they were able to download the rest of the data from it. And now that they've had this experience of retrieving data from a probe and making sense of it in a way that is usable for humans and understanding that sort of harsh environment, they're going to be able to take the next steps and develop a platform where drones can be feeding back that potentially life-saving information. So lots of interesting stuff here that developers are doing with IBM Bluemix. And again, I'm at IBM InterConnect. For ITbusiness.ca, I'm Brian Jackson.